Hello sir, I am Inzamam from third group in second year.
Hello sir, myself Mohammad Said from third group, and our topic is disease of female genital tract.
Congenital defect, vagina, ovaries, uterus and cervix. Birth defect, vagina, ovaries, uterus and cervix. Developmental disorder of female reproductive tract. Development disorders of the female reproductive tract are problems in the reproductive organ of a baby girl. They occur while she is growing in her mother's womb. Female reproductive organ include the vagina, ovaries, uterus and cervix. Causes: the reproductive tract develops close to the urinary tract and kidneys. It also develops at the same time as several other organs. As a result, developmental problems in the female reproductive tract sometimes occur with problems in other areas. Their areas may include the urinary tract, kidneys, intestine, and lower spine. Developmental disorder of the female reproductive tract include intersex, ambiguous genitalia. Symptoms vary according to specific problem. They may include breast do not grow, cannot empty the bladder, lump in the stomach area usually due to blood or mucus that cannot flow out, menstrual flow that occur despite using a tampon, a sign of second vagina, monthly cramping or pain without menstruation, no menstruation, amenorrhea, pain with sex, repeated miscarriage or preterm birth may be due to an abnormal uterus. Exams and tests. The provider may notice sign of a developmental disorder right away. Such sign may include abnormal vagina, abnormal or missing cervix, bladder on the outside of the body, genitals that are hard to identify as a girl or boy, ambiguous genitalia, labia that are stuck together or unusual in size, no opening in the genital area or a single rectal opening, swollen clitoris. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Hello everyone, I'm Tejaswini Raghuvanshi. I'm in third group of second year, and for path anatomy assignment, my topic is soft tissue disease. And here we start.
Hello, my name is Brijesh Yadav. I am from third group second year, and my topic is soft tissue disorder.
Soft tissue disorders. Soft tissue disorders are medical conditions affecting soft tissue. Often, soft tissue injuries are some of the most chronically painful and difficult to treat because it is very difficult to see that what is going on under the skin with the soft connective tissues, fascia, joints, muscles, and tendons. Musculoskeletal specialists, manual therapists, and neuromuscular physiologists and neurologists specialize in treating injury and ailment in the soft tissue areas of the body. These specialized clinicians often develop innovative ways to manipulate the soft tissue to speed natural healing and relieve the mysterious pain that often accompanies soft tissue injury. This area of expertise has become known as soft tissue therapy and is rapidly expanding as technology continues to improve the ability of these specialists to identify problem areas more quickly. A promising new method of treating wounds and soft tissue injuries is via platelet growth factor. There is a close overlap between the term soft tissue disorders and rheumatism. Sometimes the term soft tissue rheumatic disorders is used to describe these conditions. Thank you.
Myself, Sari Mason from Group 3, and my topic is disease related with female genital tract.
Hello, my name is Anil Rathi. I am from third group, and our topic is on common disease in female genital tract.
The most common diseases related to female genital tract are endometriosis, uterine fibroids, gynecologic cancer, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Endometriosis. Endometriosis is an often painful disorder in which tissue similar to the tissue that normally lies the inside of your uterus, the endometrium, grows outside of your uterus. Sign and symptoms. Painful periods, pelvic pain and cramping may begin before and extend several days into a menstrual period. Pain with intercourse, pain with bowel movements or urination, excessive bleeding, infertility. Uterine fibroids. Uterine fibroids are benign tumors that originate in the uterus. Although they are composed of the same smooth muscle fibers as the uterine wall, they are much denser than normal myometrium. Signs and symptoms: heavy menstrual bleeding, menstrual period lasting more than a week, pelvic pressure or pain, frequent urination, difficulty emptying the bladder, constipation. Gynecologic cancer. Gynecologic cancer is any cancer that starts in a woman's reproductive organs. 5 main types of cancer affect a woman's reproductive organs are cervical, ovarian, uterine, vaginal and vulvar. Signs and symptoms: abnormal vaginal bleeding or discharge is common in all gynecologic cancer. Feeling full too quickly or difficulty eating, and abdominal or back pain. Pelvic pain or pressure is common for ovarian and uterine cancer. Polycystic ovary syndrome. Polycystic ovary syndrome is a hormonal disorder common among women of reproductive age. Women with PCOS may have infrequent or prolonged menstrual periods or excessive male hormone levels. The ovaries may develop numerous small collections of fluid and fail to regularly release eggs. Signs and symptoms: irregular periods or no periods at all, difficulty getting pregnant because of irregular ovulation or failure to ovulate, excessive hair growth, usually on the face, chest, back or buttocks, weight gain, thinning hair and
Hi, I am Vijaya from second year, group 3B. I am going to explain about introduction of bones. Introduction of bones. Bones are rigid bars that are made up of connective tissues. These are living tissues that are capable of growth and perform vast number of functions. These are reservoirs of about 99% of calcium of our body. And next, bones, despite of their hardness, are very much a living tissue. They have greater regenerative power than any other tissue of the body. It can be subjected to tissue and can be fractured. It can mold itself according to changes in stress and strain. And there are 206 bones in adults. When we born, we have greater number of bones, about 275 as shown in figure. And next, also at birth, there is a greater amount of cartilage which is afterward replaced by bones. Over a period of about 7 years, each bone in our body is slowly replaced by a new bone. This happens by a process called cartilaginous ossification. Histological features as shown in figure. These are explained here clearly. And next, Haversian canal, lamellae, all are seen in figure. Composition of bones. Bones are composed of bone cells, extracellular matrix, bone cells, osteoblasts, osteocytes, osteoclasts, osteoprogenitor cells, extracellular matrix, collagen fibers, inorganic minerals. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Syed Ahmed. I am from third group, second year.
Hello, my name is Mohammad Mazhar and I am from third group. Our topic is disease of female genital tract.
Congenital defect, vagina, ovaries, uterus and cervix. Birth defect, vagina, ovaries, uterus and cervix. Development disorder of female reproductive tract. Development disorder of the female reproductive tract are problems in the reproductive organs of a baby girl. They occur while she is growing in her mother womb. Female reproductive organs include the vagina, ovaries, uterus and cervix.
Cause. The reproductive tract develops close to the urinary tract and kidneys. It also develops at the same time as several other organs. As a result, developmental problems in the female reproductive tract sometimes occurs with problem in other areas. These areas may include urinary tract, kidneys, intestine and lower spine. Developmental disorder of female reproductive tract includes intersex, ambiguous genitalia.
Symptoms. Symptoms vary according to the specific problem. They may include breasts do not grow, cannot empty the bladder, lump in the stomach area, usually due to blood or mucus that cannot flow out, menstrual flow that occurs despite using a tampon, a sign of second vagina, monthly cramping or pain without menstruation, no menstruation, amenorrhea, pain with sex, repeated miscarriage or preterm births may be due to an abnormal uterus.
Exam and test. The provider may notice sign of developmental disorder right away. Such sign may include abnormal vagina, abnormal or missing cervix, bladder on the outside of body, genitals that are hard to identify as a girl or a boy, ambiguous genitalia, labia that are stuck together or unusual in size, no opening in the genital area or single rectal opening, swollen clitoris. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Surbi Singh and I'm from second year, third group for Pathana project. My topic is bone disorder. So here we go. So in bone disorder, we are having mineral and bone disorder. When do bone problem begins? So bone problem begin in the early stages of kidney diseases. Changes can be happening and you may not feeling any symptoms. Children can have mineral and bone disorder too. Children are still growing, so bone growth and height can be affected. How does kidney diseases affect bones? Maintaining strong and healthy bones is complicated process. New bone cells are made and old bone cells are replaced every day. This is called bone turnover. The amount of bone cells you have in our bones affect how strong they are. With kidney diseases, your kidney are not working as well as they should. Kidney diseases changes the normal process of bone turnover. Kidney can't release the hormone that help our body make more strong. Hormones are chemical messenger that change your body many important things. The kidney also have a hard keeping important minerals and like phosphorus, calcium and balance. Minerals are nutritions that you get from the food we eat. So what happens when you have mineral and bone disorder? Your body needs to calcium build up bones, control blood pressure and keep a normal heartbeat. Calcium comes into our body when you eat food, calcium like milks and other dairy products. So we should eat these type of calcium products. Phosphorus also, it's also a main that helps in our bone maintenance. Other important minerals in our body, phosphorus have many job, like it helps growth and energy. You get phosphorus in many foods we eat. So without active vitamin D, people with mineral and bone disorder can't keep the right balance of calcium and phosphorus in our body. Calcium will be too low and phosphorus will be too high. So it can cause parathyroid hormone, PTG. PTH is another hormone that helps to keep the right balance of calcium in the bones into the bloodstream. When the level of phosphorus in the blood goes up and level active vitamin D goes down, it makes too much PTH. High PTH cause calcium to leave your bones and go into your blood. As more as calcium leaves your bones, so they become weaker and more brittle and may break more easily. So for that we should eat vitamin D and calcium and phosphorus products such as dairy products for betterment of our bones. So thank you.